Hello, Pack 554. This is Miss Crystal. I'm here to show you how to make your own chalk paint for the sidewalk. So first, the ingredients you're gonna need is some cornstarch, baking soda, any food coloring colors you want, and some water, and a 1/3 measuring cup. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take 1/3 of a cup, big difference there, of cornstarch. I will probably make a mess. Hopefully, you can't see the mess I'm making right now. You're gonna put that right into the water. This is messy, so it's good to do this outside if you're having kids do this. And then you're also going to do 1/3 of a cup of baking soda. And put that right in there too. And then you can use a spoon, you can use a paintbrush, you can use a popsicle stick, you can use a stick from your yard, and you want to just mix this all together. I'm using the paintbrush that I have because that's what I have sitting here. You're gonna do this in anywhere from 3/4 of a cup to a cup of water. The difference is how thick you want it. This is pretty watery. However, I'm doing 3/4 of a cup because I will be pouring it into the muffin tin. It does work at this for the squirt bottles as well, but it recommends to do it a little bit thinner so it doesn't clog the squirt bottle. So I will show you that way as well. So once you mix this all up, you can usually feel that it's pretty mixed up because you won't feel chunks in there anymore because it'll all dissolve. Just mix it in, make sure it's good. So then you can use any old muffin tin. This is a pretty old beat up one that I've used for this before. And you're just gonna fill the cups about halfway. You don't have to do it that full. If you want to have more colors, a little bit goes a long way with this. So I'm just gonna pour into here. Oh, I gotta do a little clump in here. And then I'm gonna save the rest to show you what to do with a squirt bottle. So we'll set this aside for now. So you're gonna take your mixture here, and then how bright the color for the paint is really depends on how much food coloring you put in. I did, in my testing of this, I did as little as 1 drop. This is gel food coloring, which is gonna come out a little slower than if you have the more liquid food coloring. So the more you put in, the darker your paint color is gonna be. But I will tell you, when it dries on the sidewalk, it's not a significant difference. So I'm gonna drop in. Actually gonna do 2. This food coloring is pretty thick. So again, you can take your paintbrush and just stir this up. The one thing I forgot to have ready is a cup of just plain old clean water. All you have to do between colors is just rinse your brush off in plain water and you're good to stick it in a different color. So I will not be mixing all the colors because I don't have that handy. So just stir this up really, really good. This came out really, I don't know if you can see this, but this came out really, really dark purple because I put a lot in there. So I'm just gonna do that. Set this off to the side. So if you want to do it, these little squirt bottles I got at Hobby Lobby. You can get them at Michael's, you can get them at Joann's probably. Or if you have an old set of, like, your mom and dad might have a old like ketchup squirt bottle or something, that would work too. An old shampoo bottle that is travel size, any of those should work. So I'm just gonna carefully pour this in there. You can fill it as much as you want. I'm just not doing a lot because I'm just doing it to demo it. And then I'm gonna add my food color. You could mix this in something with food coloring first. and then pour it in here too if that's easier. So this color I'm adding is teal. It's very stringy. Parents, if you are having your kids do this, and the food coloring is very thick like that, if you happen to have a pair of gloves or something handy, that might be better just for the sake of staining, unless you don't care if you're, whoops, don't shake it with the lid off of it. I would not recommend, if you don't want your kids to get it on themselves, then or be stained whatever color for a few days, then you probably will want to do a pair of gloves. So this came out pretty dark because there wasn't a whole lot of the mixture in there, which is totally okay. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how you can paint it onto the sidewalk, your driveway, wherever you are doing this. So when you're putting this onto your driveway or sidewalk, you can use a variety of tools to actually place it on the ground. I have a regular craft paintbrush here. You can use a foam paintbrush. The squirt bottle, I'll show you how to do that. You can even use something as simple as a popsicle stick or a stick from outside. It'll be a little harder to work with, but it is doable. So first I'll show you the paintbrush. I'm gonna take that. I'm just gonna show you that it goes on pretty, if you do it a little bit more concentrated, it goes on a lot easier, and it's easier to see what you're doing. When it's more watered down, it looks kind of funny at first, but when it dries, it looks really super cool. So this is if you did a regular paintbrush. And then I'm going to show you if you do a foam brush, it can be thicker like this, or you can do it like that and make it a little skinnier. And then if you have a squirt bottle, this is really cool to have if you want to write something. So so if I wanted to do this, I can even write in cursive if I wanted to. So again, it is way messier in the squirt bottle if you don't have it. If you have it very concentrated like I do. See, this is what your hands will look like. So then, as you can see here, and like right through here, it's starting to dry already. It does dry pretty fast. If you're doing it in the sun, direct sun, it dries very fast. So when it dries, it looks more like chalk. The best part about this, especially if you're doing it on your driveway, I'm assuming that even the darker color, with how concentrated that was, it will, when I tested it earlier in the week, we got rain overnight, and when I came out the next morning, it was completely gone. So it washes away super easy off of your driveway. If you mess it up, you can take your hose, a bucket, whatever, wash it away, let the ground dry, and do it again. The other tip, let me stand up. The other tip I recommend, or that's good to know, is I experimented with letting the muffin tin dry out. You can leave it outside in your garage, on the driveway, whatever. If it completely dries out, it's going to be like a powdery mixture. If you want to reactivate it to paint some more, all you got to do is add a little bit of water and just stir it up. Also, if you let it sit for a few minutes, the bottom of it is going to start to thicken. Just take the paintbrush or a popsicle stick and just stir it up again before you paint, so that it's not all concentrated at the bottom. But it can dry out and be reused, which is really super cool if your kids really like doing it and you don't want to have to mix it every time. Like I said, a lot goes a long way with painting. So I hope you enjoy, and I'd love to see pictures if you guys make any drawings with chalk paint. Bye! Real quick, I wanted to add on to my video that if you get food coloring on your hands, or your kids get it on their hands, I used a gel food coloring. If you saw in the previous part of the video, earlier part of the video, my hand was covered in teal and all I did was wash it with soap and water and it's almost gone. So if you get it right away, it looks like it will come off pretty easily. So that's a bonus.